All right, so greetings, distinguished faculty members and professors of NCKU, as well as the esteemed guests, students of the class of the 2025 NCKU Purdue Dual Degree Program, as well as the spotlight of today's event, the NCKU Purdue Dual Degree Program Class of 2026. My name is James Tu, and I will be serving as your host for today's Walk the Talk. So, without further ado, we will now first introduce Professor Zhang Yanguang of Computer Science and Information Engineering, also the rotating program chair of the NCKU Purdue Dual Degree Program, to give a few opening remarks.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. I am very happy to be the rotating program chair this year. Actually, this is the third year of the NCKU Purdue Dual Degree Program. We have a very successful and wonderful 2 year in previous 2 years, and handled by Professor Lin and Professor Chi, two EE department chairman, Professor Lin, and engineering, mechanical engineering chair, Professor Chi. I like to, this event is the second year students walk the talk program. They will demonstrate their English study effort to you, and I hope they will get a very good performance. So I will keep this message very short. So thank you.
Thank you, Professor Zhang, for your opening remarks. And next, we would like to introduce the judges for today's Walk the Talk. First up, we have the Dean of the College of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science, Professor Zhan Baozhu. And next, we have the Dean of the College of Engineering, Professor Zhan Qiandeng. And last but not least, Mr. Chris Herbert, a new lecturer for the NCKU Purdue Dual Degree Program. All right, so for today's Walk the Talk, later we'll be handing out 4 awards in total. 3 awards will be for the posters downstairs, and 1 award will be given to the best performed group, who will be giving their speeches later on. So, without further ado, we will now move over to the longly anticipated NCKU Talks. So, for Group 1, we have Albert from Computer Science and Information Engineering, Zian from Mechanical Engineering, Albert from Mechanical Engineering, as well as Kevin from Mechanical Engineering. And they will be talking about how to deal with things that they don't like.
So, is the mic working? Okay. So, hi, my name is Kevin, and I am here to give you guys advice about how to do things you don't want to do, along with Albert and Zian. Okay. Okay. So first, we believe that you should realize your purpose first. Since realizing your purpose means that you give your actions meaning. Like for myself, I hated physics. I never spent a lot of time on it, and I just never studied for it. But since a few weeks into my freshman year, I realized that I have to cram a lot of physics in a very short time. And so I thought to myself, wait, did I just spend another year on GSAT just to get here and waste another year of my life? I was really lost. But the school doesn't stop and wait for you to get ready. The professor keeps on lecturing, giving lectures, and you'd have to study more. So I thought to myself, why not just attend all the classes and see what I get from them? So I attended the classes, and you know how, okay, so since we, as high school students, before college, we get separated into groups really early. So you get to hear from the teachers and your parents that physics is a very important subject, and you should study more because you use it in your future. But it's not convincing at all. It's not. But the classes I took here at college gave me an insight on how it would be the foundation of my future studies. And that was when I knew that I didn't have to study for it, but needed to. It was fundamental. So I started to spend more time on it. I made plans. So this is actually not a meme. I did actually tell myself that I will attend the classes, I will finish all the homework exercises. And I did fall short on the time, so yeah, but I kept on fixing my mistakes. I kept spending more and more time into it, and by the end of the semester, my grades improved as well. I didn't specifically study for it, but the grades would tell me that I'm currently on the right track and that my system is working. And ultimately, I passed both semesters without failing any test, unlike I did in high school. But this just goes to show that with a purpose, you can even work through the most unbearable situations that come at you. But that isn't enough. Otherwise, our presentation will be over. So Albert is here to tell you that the next step.
Okay, so along with that, my tip is to adapt. I believe everyone here has plenty of fine impressions of Tainan, and I'm no exception. However, reality gave me a really hard strike after I started living here instead of being a tourist. The main reason why I think I don't feel comfortable here is that everything is completely different from my hometown, Taipei. For example, I used to take the MRT or buses to wherever I want in Taipei, but in Tainan, I only have a bike. I was confined to places near campus. Owing to that, I'm really not used to Tainan, so I started to search up for monthly ticket for the THSR, and I once thought of commuting between Taipei and Tainan every day. We all know that is really crazy, but I did go back to Taipei once a week by the bus. Its trip duration is 4.5 hours per ride, and it takes me like 9 hours every week. And however, after a few weeks, I started to think that, what if I'm not used to life in America? Will I still be able to go back to Taiwan as well every week? So I knew I need to change. So I banned myself from going home for a month, and it turns out really great.
Ideal. I assume that most of you are staying in the school's dorm, and that means that you're not allowed to live in a room by yourself, and you have to share a room with someone you just met, and they might have different sleep schedules as yours. So I think that you should communicate and also compromise with your roommate. Take me as an example. I go to bed early while my roommate goes to bed late. So we came up with an equilibrium where when I go to sleep, our room's light goes out, but our individual lights on our table are still allowed to be on. I do the same thing in the morning. I keep my voice down and also my table's light on while the main light is still off while my roommate is still asleep. So we didn't have any problem the following year. And so this is my tip to not to do things you don't like, is to compromise. Now moving on to Zian.
I joined the Purdue program unable to speak Chinese. And that made living in Taiwan very difficult, as there wasn't a lot I could do on my own. There was basic stuff such as ordering food or having small talk was a very tall task for me. And I was very reluctant to learn Chinese because of how complex the language is. I made a ton of translational errors. For example, the first time I hung out with my cousin after 10 years, I was playing with him and his toy trucks. And I told him I wanted to be the 火车. And he replied to me, he turned around, looked at me, and he said, no, Zian, this isn't a 火车, this is a 消防车. But to me, that didn't make any sense because I thought 火车 was fire truck. Another time, I was at a restaurant, and I wanted to order red tea. But the waitress told me that they don't serve red tea. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Why won't they serve red tea if it's written on the menu as 红茶? And this all came down to a boiling point when I received a very low score on my calculus midterm exam. Now, you see, calculus in NCKU is taught in Chinese. And obviously, I don't know what the teacher's saying half the time on stage. And I'm also the type of person who has an easier time learning in a classroom rather than studying on my own. And I knew this wasn't a situation I could just settle by, asking my friends to translate every single part of class for me. So I had to put my foot down and swallow my pride. Every opportunity I had to learn Chinese, I took it. For example, I have a bunch of Taiwanese friends, and so I asked them to talk to me only in Chinese. I had a list of phrases, Chinese phrases that I'll use often, phrases like 我想要麦克鸡块, that I would memorize and use when I needed to. And I took my first ever Chinese course in NCKU and I passed. Also, when lockdown hit, I was living with my family. And I have a sister who's in 3rd grade, by the way, and she would have her classes online too, her Chinese classes specifically, and I would be sitting right behind her taking notes. What I'm trying to get at is college life isn't always a smooth sailing as you think it is. Honestly, when I moved here, I hated it. I felt like I didn't belong here, that I was meant to be, somewhere else. But honestly, if I could just snap my fingers and teleport to wherever I wanted to be, I think I would still feel the same way. I think I would still feel the same way. What I'm trying to get at is you can't stay hung up on things you can't change. Yes, I live in Taiwan now, but that's not something I could change. But so I just had to embrace the suck and keep moving on. And to quote one of my favorite TV shows, sucking at something is the first step towards being kind of good at something. Thank you.
I'm fairly sure that we all meet things that we do not like from time to time. So thank you, Albert, Zian, Albert, and Kevin for sharing your experiences and how you guys deal with things that you do not like. So next up, we have Group 2, which consists of Melody, Ali, Johnny, and Willis from the Department of Electrical Engineering. And they will be sharing about general courses in NCKU.
Life in college seems like a long time period, 4 years or, for some people, 3 years in NCKU. Nevertheless, time does fly. Therefore, it is better for us to create opportunities for ourselves to work hard, play hard, and enjoy life. One of the most important things to do in college is taking the courses that will improve your overall capability. Also, choosing the right general courses will earn you flying colors on your school transcript. Hence, we are here to tell you some of our experiences in general courses. My name is Melody, and these are Ellie, Johnny, and Willis. We are all from the EE department. I took the course Animal Parasitology and Life last semester. In the course, students would have to write a lot of abstract thoughts, such as ideas about the videos played in classes. Students also need to finish a report of parasites and their notions on the online videos, which respectively requires 2,000 and 5,000 words. After writing over 12,600 words, my final score is 87, which isn't really a fantastic grade. I still learned something for sure though, but to be honest, I think the return on investment isn't quite high. Despite all this, if you truly want to learn some piracy facts and historical cases, as well as some disease in life, I would still recommend you take the course. But remember, writing those afterthoughts will certainly take huge portion of your time. And now, Ellie would like to share some useful tools to choose general courses and her own recommendation.
Thank you. Thank you, Melody, for your presentation. And as Josh just mentioned, sorry. As Josh just mentioned, having the ability of choosing good courses is necessary. However, a course with decent score is not always the best fit for you. Homeworks, grades, tests, reports, and the grading criteria and the way the lectures goes are also important considerations. So, hi, my name is Ellie. Today, I'm here to teach you a little tip of choosing courses as well as introduce a course I really like to you guys. We all know that using tools wisely can be powerful. And when you are choosing courses, one of the most powerful is NCKU Hub. NCKU Hub is a website full of people's comments toward each course. By reading those comments, you can learn the grading criteria and how it works in order to choose the courses that fit your preference. And after learning about the NCKU Hub, I want to introduce a course that I really like, which is Hello Art, 艺术叩门. The original intention of having Hello Art is to give students a basic concept of art. Every class will have different lecturers from different fields of art, different fields related to art. For example, acting, movie, painting, calligraphy, music, and so on, you name it. And the best thing about this course is that there is no test at all. And all you have to do during the whole semester is to hand in several assignments. And you also have to go visit some exhibitions or music concerts or so to earn more points. If you attend every single class and do all the works I just mentioned, you will get a 100 as your final grade, which is why I strongly recommend you to take this course. Next, we'll have Johnny to introduce more courses.
Okay, thank you, Ali, for sharing a perfect class. My name is Johnny, and I'm going to introduce a good class, which is called General Biodiversity. The class is simple. You just need to show up in class, listen to a useless speech, take notes, and then take an easy quiz, and that's all the process. Now, I will share how to get good grades in this course. First, go to class on time every time. Second, try your best to take notes. Lastly, take pictures of the class slide to help you on the quiz. So easy, right? Well, that's what normal students will do. Let me tell you what a smart student will do. First, go to class and sleep. Second, wake up when the class is 20 or 30 minutes left. Lastly, copy other normal students' notes and also copy their answer for the quiz. And that's perfectly done. I took this course last semester with Ellie and Sam in CSIE, and I got 93, Sam 94, and Ellie 95. So you can tell who is a smart student and who is a normal student. If you have the chance to take this course, just follow what I have told you. You will definitely get high grades and to save your GPA and also your scholarship. Okay, thank you. Next, Willis will share his favorite class.
Great thanks to my teammates for their precious experience and useful advice. Hi, I'm Willis, and today I'll talk about one of my favorite courses, Music and Travel, 音乐与旅行. In this course, the professor first talked about music history. from Mozart in classical period to traditional music of different countries. Instead of telling it chronologically, the professor combined it with her travel experience and shared her story, which makes the music history not only became more interesting, but also it helps us to appreciate different cultures through her words and pictures in the PPT. After every class, the professor will give us a recommendation list of music introduced in class. It is a great opportunity for those who want to experience different music styles. And the most important part, the grade, which is one of the main reasons I chose the class. However, since I didn't do well on the exams, I only got 87 in the end. So in summary, this course is definitely helpful for those who want to know more music knowledge and want to listen to stories. And moreover, you can get a not bad grade. So this is our presentation about general courses. Hope you guys can choose what you want and wish you a happy college life. Thank you.
Course selection is definitely one of the most nerve-wracking tasks a college student has to face. So thank you, Melody, Ali, Johnny, and Willis, for sharing your thoughts on the general courses you took and your experiences in between.
Carry，我应该是要下去了。喂。
All right, so next up we have Joshua, Eric, Tom, and Patrick from the Department of Mechanical Engineering, and they will be sharing the difference between Taiwan and the United States of America. Guys, take it away.
Hello everyone, we're group 3, and my name is Tom, this is Patrick, this is Eric, and this is Joshua. Today we are going to talk about differences between Taiwan and the US. And today's presentation will be focused on our personal experiences in Purdue this summer and our trip in the US this summer. And to help you guys know better about the US, the presentation will be divided into 3 parts. We will talk about Purdue University and San Francisco and Houston sequentially. And if you have any question, please be free to ask, to let us know in the end of the presentation. And although this is not a tip for the university, but it's the experience that we have encountered in this summer vacation. So maybe it'll be useful for you guys in the next year of when you go to Purdue. So let's welcome the.
There are almost no scooters and bikes. Students only choose to walk or drive to school, because not everyone can afford the car. So I think if you study in Purdue, you can buy an electric scooter, just like the orange one in the picture. I think it can make you move in the campus more conveniently. Second, I will talk about the life cost. For the accommodation, in the picture, you can see that Purdue dorm is much better than NCKU dorm. Yeah. This also means that you have to pay lots of rental to Purdue. On the other hand, the food in Purdue is also very expensive, such as the chicken fingers in the picture. You might think it only costs 150 NT dollars in Taiwan. However, it truly costs 350 NT dollars in the Purdue. This sounds crazy, right? So I think if you live in Purdue, you can try to rent a house with your friends and try to cook by yourself. I think this is the best way for you to save your daily cost.
So next, let's welcome Eric. He will talk about San Francisco.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Eric from the Mechanical Engineering Department, and I'm going to talk about our trip to San Francisco. So first, when we went to San Francisco the first night, we went to watch a baseball game. But the difference, the atmosphere in Taiwan baseball games and the American baseball game is really different. In Taiwan, most people only go there to watch the cheerleaders and not the baseball games. But in America, there are no cheerleaders, there are no drums, and nobody is singing and dancing like which Joshua does in Taiwan. So we can see that they only use human voice to cheer up the players, and the atmosphere is more tense. And another really cool difference is that in Taiwan, usually the baseball games are in the summer, so it's really hot. So we wear shorts to the games. But in America, I did the wrong thing. I just thought, oh, we can wear shorts. But it's in San Francisco, and it's next to the bay, so it's really cold. It's like 10 degrees. And so a lot of like the Americans are looking at us and like, why are these guys wearing shorts? They should be cold. And we're like freezing, and Tom even freeze and just start sleeping during the game because it's too cold. And the other thing is, like, in Taiwan, we usually like have the vendors outside the baseball games, and so we just pay cash. But in America, you aren't allowed to bring any food or any water into your game, so you have to like pay for them. And the thing is, in the San Francisco ballpark especially, you can only pay with your credit card. So if anybody wants to go to America and watch a baseball game, remember that no backpacks are allowed and no cash are allowed, only credit cards are allowed. And then I'm going to talk about the food. So in Taiwan, usually, when you want to go for lunch, you just get like a chicken lunchbox. It costs about $80. But in America, it's really different. When you want a cheap food, you go for fast food. But in Taiwan, fast food is kind of not as cheap as regular lunchbox. And another thing is, if you want some homemade food, or you want some food like from Asia, like fried chicken with rice, for example, where we ate at this restaurant, we can see that it costs about 30 USD, and it's without taxes. So after taxes and tips, it costs about 40 USD per person. So it's like 5 times the price you eat in Taiwan. And finally, I'm going to talk about a really serious problem that both countries have. It's about homeless people. But in Taiwan, when we think about homeless people, we think about those who live in the train stations. Like, they just lie there, and maybe they sometimes beg you for money, but they usually don't bother you that much or try to fight you. But in America, the thing is really different, and the issue is a bit more, it's a bit worse. So this is the station, it's near Union Square. It's called Powell Street Station, and it's where we live next to our hotel. And every day when we get out of the BART, we can see that homeless people are fighting over the white umbrella over there. It's a public bathroom, and so people are fighting over that, trying to gain their territories. And so you can see that people are fighting at each other, and people are bleeding. But the police nearby don't even care. They just think it's a regular thing. And I was a bit scared, so I was trying to get away. And then a local just told me, oh, this happens every day. You don't have to be scared. You can stay and watch. And I was really shocked about that. And the other thing on top is when we went to San Francisco, we encountered. There are drunk homeless people around, and it's really dangerous. We're walking in the middle of the street, and it's daytime. We're just going to a grocery store, and a drunk homeless man start yelling at us and chasing us. And if a homeless man starts chasing us in Taiwan, maybe we won't be that scared because he won't have a gun, or maybe but he won't have a gun and we won't get shot. But in America, we are scared that we are going to get shot. So the thing that I get from this experience that is stay safe as possible when you travel, so those who care about you will not have to worry that much.
Okay, let's welcome the last speaker, Joshua. He will talk about Houston.
Okay. So next, I'm going to talk about some features about United States industry. So in United States, the industry tends to centralize in certain cities. So for example, we are going to talk about Houston. So Houston is both the key area of medical and petrochemical industry. First, let's talk about the medical. In Taiwan, as we know, the biggest medical system is like a single medical center. For example, National Taiwan University's hospital, or National Cheng University's hospital. But however, in Houston, there's a place called Texas Medical Center.
This is called medical center, but it is actually a medical center complex. It has more than 60 health facilities and more than 5 cancer centers. It also ranges about 5.4 square kilometers. This is as big as 30 National Taiwan University's hospital, so that you can imagine how big is the scale. And next we're going to talk about is the petrochemical industry. In the United States, there are 2 places mainly deal with the petrochemical industry. One is Alaska, another one is Texas. In Texas, most of the petrochemical industry was centralized in Houston. So as you go through Houston, you can find petrochemical plants and oil tank, gas tank, nearly everywhere as you go through the city. But however, when you are driving, keep focused on your road, don't look around or you'll get crushed. And about Houston, it also consists of more than 42% of the production capacity of the United States petrochemical industry, which means only a single city consists of nearly a half of the petrochemical industry in the United States. So as you can see, it is quite a big scale. And next.
Okay. So thanks for those amazing speakers of giving us such a marvelous presentation. And I'm sorry, if you have any question, we are happy to answer your questions in a later session because we have the limited of time. And thanks for your listening.
Thank you, Joshua, Eric, Tom, and Patrick, for your observations on the differences between Taiwan and the United States of America. I'm very sure that these tips and phenomenons are things that the class of 2026 will keep in mind as they embark on their journey towards the United States in the future. All right, so next up we have Group 4, which consists of Jimmy and Teddy, as well as Hugo, Midas, and Navy, who weren't able to join us here today. So they will be sharing about 7 good habits that will make college life easier. So guys, you may now have the stage and take it away.
Hello everyone, we're Group 4, and we're here to share the 7 tips we find useful in college. My name is Jimmy. This is Teddy. This is Hugo, who is not here today. This is Midas, who is also not here today. And this is Navy, who is not in the program. So I'm going to be sharing the first tip with you. Keep a regular daily routine. Well, I believe most of you know the many benefits of keeping a regular daily routine, such as keeping you healthy, giving you a good mood, and preventing you from skipping classes. How so? Well, the thing is, in university, it is very easy to skip classes because many professors do not care if you come to the class or not. So imagine this. It's 8 a.m. in the morning, you have a class coming up, but you're extremely tired, plus the professor does not care if you come or not. Plus, it's a class that you really don't like. What would you do? Well, I don't know about you, but for me, I skipped it. And in the end, I didn't get a satisfying calculus grade because of it. And I would like most of you not to skip any classes. So, in conclusion, wake up early, be energetic, and don't skip classes. Next, we'll have Navy to share with us why you should be mentally healthy. Unfortunately, Navy is not here today. Luckily, she has left us with her script, so we could read it out loud. Now, everyone, could you repeat with me? Human brains tend to exaggerate and overthink when facing challenges and obstacles. No one? No one? Okay, fine, whatever, I'll read it myself. Human brains tend to exaggerate and overthink when facing challenges and obstacles. Once the problems turn into monsters that our mind cannot comprehend, that stress will mostly contribute into our negative thinking and break us down. In fact, those problems are neutral, but just how we perceive them are different. What we can do is to have a positive attitude towards challenges and seeing them as a spark of opportunities. instead of huge mountains that we need to climb, and take upon it as soon as possible before it's too late. In short, the key here is to focus on the problem itself before the stress adds on to your shoulder. Then the future of success will come to you. Next, my buddy Hugo will share his video with you.
And here's the second habit to make your college life easier. As the saying goes, money can pay fees at a hospital, but it can't buy you health. This means being healthy is the most important thing in your life. Without a healthy body, you can't even live like a normal person. All you can do is just stay in a hospital waiting for a recovery. However, there are no shortcuts to lead a healthy life, and the only way is through exercising. But it is always easier said than done. It takes a lot of time for me just to let exercising become one of my daily habits. If it is really frustrating for you to do exercise, I recommend you to do it step by step and from easy to hard. First, arrange the amount of workload that you can handle and keep doing it at least 3 times a week. After doing it for a while, you will find out that the previous workout schedule is just a piece of cake. It means that it is time for you to intensify your workout to the next stage. As time goes, you will gradually feel the benefits from exercising. You will feel energetic every day, your stamina is better than before, and you can get concentrated easily. With the changes, I believe that you can handle the heavy workload you're facing in your freshman year. And with the extra stamina you get from exercising, you can then get yourself devoted to the clubs and activities. Those are what enrich your college life and makes your college life more colorful. By joining in the clubs you like and the activities you are interested in, you can discover your interests and also get a chance to know the seniors and the students from other departments. But you have to know your limit. Don't just join a lot of clubs and activities all at once. If you do it so, you will be overwhelmed and underpowered all the time. So just choose the most favorite one out of all your other options. This way, a wonderful college life will be there waiting for you.
Thank you, Hugo. Thank you, Hugo, for your presentation. Next, we have Teddy to share more tips. Hello, my name is Teddy, and I have 2 minutes to tell you what to avoid to make a good plan and how tracking your spending can help you in the next few years. I'll start with making plans. In my first semester of college, I actually lived in complete chaos. I made plans that were not suitable for college and consequently failed almost every exam. In the next semester, I looked back on what I did in the previous semester, and I realized that my plan didn't work out because I made the plan based on my high school experience, and that's a big mistake. It was not until then that it hit home that if I wanted to make a good plan, I should not have relied too much on my high school experience because, hey, I'm in college. If you want to make a college plan, you have to tailor one for it. If you don't have YouTube Premium, you probably have heard that in college, students have a lot on their plates. And that's so real because college is a whole different thing from high school. My next tip to share is to track your spending. From now on, almost every day in the coming 4 years, you have to spend money. For example, you have to buy food. If you live in a dorm, you have to pay for it. And you also have to buy the train tickets to go home. And you also have to buy your train tickets to go home. And the list goes on. So you need some practice to be good with money. And these are my two tips to share.
And next, Midas will share more tips with us.
Hi fellows, Midas here from the CSI department. And I'm here to share an easily achieved but also easily forgotten tip, which is taking a break is for accomplishing a longer journey. Remember, don't be too hard on yourself, and you are always your best friend.
That brings us to the end of our presentation. If you have any question, feel free to ask your senior. And that's the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Jimmy and Teddy, for sharing your presentation in person, as well as Hugo, Midas, and Navy for sharing their thoughts on 7 good habits that make college life easier. And just to recap for the class of 2026, these 7 habits are 1, keep a regular daily routine, 2, stay mentally healthy, 3, exercise, 4, participate in activities, 5, make good plans, 6, track your spending, and last but not least, treat yourself like a friend. Next up, we have Dylan, Jiahe, and Bruce from Group 5, and they will be talking about what you can do when you don't have class.
Hello everyone, I'm Dylan, and this is Bruce. Today we are going to talk about what you can do when you don't have classes. As we know, we are in the 311 program. We can get our degree faster, but we will also have a higher study pressure. If you are in electrical engineering department, you will need to get 144 credits to get your NCKU bachelor degree, which means you need to get an average of 23 credits per semester in your 3 years in NCKU. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is a course that you can use your free time to get general course credits. This is the course, Learning by Practice. I'm sure you have seen it in your general course list, but you may not know what it is doing. So to get more information, you can simply Google it, and then you can go to this NCKU official website. And after you log in with your NCKU account, you can get a web page, and it will tell you all the rules and details and how this course is working. So this, to simply say that it is a point collecting course. You can collect points, and then you can exchange 9 points for 1 credit. So how do you get points? You can listen to a lecture and then write 1,000 words of review, and you can get 1 point. And you can also visit other countries and then write reviews. You can also do volunteering works in NCKU and then write reviews. You can also read a book in NCKU book list. But this one, you need to write 3,000 words, and you can get 3 points. So if you are good at writing and giving feedbacks, this course is definitely suitable for you. And don't be that depressed, because there are also other ways to get points. Like the first one, you can listen to the Academy Integrity lectures. In this course, you don't need to prepare for anything. You don't need to take a short test. You don't need to write reviews. You just need to attend and enjoy the lecture, and you can get points. And there are also there are also 3 online courses that you can get points. The first 2 are about research integrity, and the third one is about experiment safety. I remember I finished these 3 classes in less than a week, and you can get over 14 points or more. So if you are interested in this course, you can just go to the website I mentioned and then get more information. And you can also ask me if you're really interested in it. So this is my point, and then I'll welcome Jiahe to give us the talk.
Okay.
Jiahe 讲
Okay, and I'm talking about lead code. So if you want to enter, you want to work in the tech company like FA&G, there's a part of interview that you have to prove your coding ability. So LeetCode is a platform that can help you prepare the problems you need to solve. And so how to start it? Well, first step, you have to create your own account on a website. Then then you can choose the problem you want to solve. So I would recommend that if you don't have any coding basis, you can use the filter to start with a for the easy one problem, and once you are more comfortable with this problem, then you can move on to a medium one and to a hard one. So as you can see, there's many options you can choose, like C++, Java, and even JavaScript. Just use the one that you are most familiar with. And so, okay, sometimes you have difficulties to solve the problems. Just remember that there's many resources on the net that you can use, like YouTube videos and websites that help you learn about data structure and some coding technique. So the thing is all about practice. Just don't give up and keep practice about the question on a website, and then you will have your skill you need to solve the problem. Okay, and yes, and that's my part. And here.
Hello everyone. My name is Bruce, and from our topic, you probably already can tell, we're here to tell you what you can do in your free time during college. Well, there's a lot of things you can do in your free time. What you can do and what you should do is a huge difference between them. So with my personal experience, I'm here to tell you what you could do and possibly give you a bit of a heads up. Well, first thing that you can do is Netflix. Yeah, you can watch a lot of Netflix there. Most of you probably already have an account, and some of you are probably leeching on others' account. The point is, there's a lot of good shows on there. For some examples, Breaking Bad, Peaky Blinders, and Lucifer, just to name a few. Well, these are all great shows, but what do these have in common? They all have very long episodes and even longer seasons. So I'm going to put you all in a scenario here. It's 6 p.m. You just finished dinner, and you're telling yourself, just one more episode, and I'm going to go and do what I'm supposed to do. Well, next thing you know, it's 3 a.m. in the morning, and you're one episode away from the finale. Yeah, not really ideal. Probably should look out for that. Second, what you can do is video games. Some very famous ones are League of Legends, Apex, and Valorant. Well, there's a similar problem here, is they're all very time-consuming. And I'm going to put you in another scenario. The first thing is 6 p.m., you just finished dinner. One more game, and you're going to go whatever you're supposed to do. Well, next thing you know, it's 2 a.m. in the morning, and you probably didn't do what you're supposed to do. So again, not really ideal. You probably shouldn't do that. Well, the third thing, which is what I suggest you do, is sports. It's very healthy, and according to some studies, it can also make you think faster and sharper. Well, you must be thinking to yourself, Bruce, that's some great advice. Well, surely nothing can go wrong. Well, that's wrong. First week I came here, I broke my wrist, and it was a pretty bad injury. I couldn't even hold my hand up my hand couldn't even support a pencil for like a month. So again, not really ideal. And be sure to watch out for that. Well, with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful year in college, and that will be the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dylan, Jahe, and Bruce, on sharing what you can do when you don't have class. Because I'm pretty sure that one of the biggest difference between high school and college is that you will have a lot of free time on your hands. All right, so next up, we have Darren, David, Thomas, and William from the Department of Mechanical Engineering, and they will be talking about all you can do in NCKU.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Okay, My name is William, and welcome you guys here. And for freshmen, I know that you must be very interested about what you can do in this new environment. So today me and my friends, Darren, Thomas, and David, we are going to talk about all you can do in NCKU. And my name is William Wu. Yeah. And in my free time, I joined a club called NCKU Formula Racing. You might heard of Formula One or Formula E, something like that. This is similar, but different. Let me just introduce our team first. We are a team composed of different students from over 10 departments around the school. And our goal is to join the world's biggest student engineering competition called FSAE, or Formula Student. And this photo is taken in our first time to go to Japan to have this competition. But sadly, after that time, due to pandemic, we are not able to go to Japan anymore. Next, I will talk about what I learned in this club, my experience. I have 3 things to share. First, I learned a lot of engineering knowledge about design a race car or building a race car. Second, because we have a lot of sponsor, and sometimes we have exhibition with sponsor, so I learned how to deal with those companies and sponsor, or even get a sponsorship. And the last one I also think is the most important one is I learned how to communicate with others. Because we are a team with a lot of students and from different departments. So it's very common to have different opinions or even a fight. So that's why I think that is the more important things to learn in the club. And to sum up, I highly suggest you guys to join the club because you can learn a lot of things or even meet a lot of friends. And that's all my part. And next, I will hand over to David, and he will talk about what he does in his free time.
Hey, can you hear me? Good evening, and it's a pleasure for me to be here and give you a talk. My name is David, and I'm from Mechanical Engineering. Today, I'm going to tell you about how I stay healthy in physical and mental. Facing schoolworks, a lot of schoolworks, you need to have a strong body, and having enough sleep and working out can make you strong. So I have a nice sleeping routine to make sure that I have enough sleeping hours. And I also go to the gym or work out at home by myself, so I can build my physical strength. Having a good energy really makes me can be more focused in my task and makes me more efficient. And speaking of maintaining mental health, I think that having a hobby and doing it is the best way. So I make line stickers to entertain people around me. And this is Darren. Oh no, this is Darren. He is my friend, and he will give you a speech later. And a benefit of making a line sticker is that you can make money. Yeah, and I also play music since I entered college. I play the guitar, the ukulele, and the Lego. playing those instruments really makes me feel a lot more relief. Um, Despite that, I'm usually very busy, but I still squeeze some time to do my hobby. So to do my hobby to make me happy. Yep, and that's the end of my presentation. I hope you guys find yourself a way to make yourself more healthy. And now I'm going to hand it over to the next person, Thomas.
Hello. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Before I started, I would like to share a quote I like very much, and it's by Elon Musk. And he said that when something is important, you will do it even if the odds are not in your favor. And I think those words is very beautiful. So I think it's very common to keep in mind. Yep, this is me. Why I choose this picture to introduce myself is because that it is hard to find a solo picture of mine. Even though I can't find my own picture. So you can try it. My name is Thomas. Today I'm going to share what influenced me a lot and what helps me in NCKU. First, I would like to talk about movies. I like watching movies, lots of movies. If I have to give some recommendation, the top 3 would be the Pacific Rim, and Interstellar, and the last one, of course, the Top Gun. Yeah, those movies influenced me so much that makes me want to study more about the mechanical engineering and become a mechanical engineer. Yeah, it's a dream. And next, I would like to talk about my interest. Because you have to know, when you wake up in the morning, it is the interest that make you want to live longer and make you want to work harder. So yeah, interest is very important. I like rockets, I like aircraft, and I like racing cars. Yeah, so I did attend an NCKU racing team in the past. Yeah, fortunately not now. Yep. And because of this, I want to learn more about these things, so I know that what NASA is doing now, and SpaceX, and of course Formula Racing. Yeah. Because of this company and this competition, I think that is not enough. So I turn to the books. So I'm quite interested about studying fluid mechanics. No, it's nonsense. I don't like to study those books, but by studying those subjects, I get to know more about the thing I like and get familiar with it. So I think interest is a very big point to make you innovative and work harder. And last but not least, just like David has said, you have to be mentally healthy and also physical healthy. So I attend the club at badminton and volleyball. And especially volleyball, I like to play volleyball a lot. So if you guys want to play volleyball, just give me a shout. Yeah. To summarize, people you guys here is actually the best of the best in NCKU. So it's kind of like the Top Gun in the Navy. So welcome to Top Gun, welcome to NCKU. Let's welcome the man of the day, Darren.
Okay, thank you, Thomas. I bet you guys can hear me now. And okay, so I'm Darren. I'm Darren from Mechanical Engineering Department. And yeah, like some of you guys might be sleepy right now, but wake up, I'm the last person sharing today. And so, yeah, I'm always sleepy. You know why? Because usually I don't sleep during night. So what did I do? I like to go stargazing. I have been interested in a solar system or like some astronautic stuff since I was a child. So I also like stargazing. And so the first time I came to Tainan, I've been started looking for a place to go, a nice spot for stargazing. And I find two spots. The first one is the Erliao Sunrise Pavilion. And the other one is the Sunset Platform. Oh yeah, so if you're also interested in stargazing, then yeah, you should go check it out. And the second thing I do in my leisure time is cooking. Actually, I don't really cook that much before I came to NCKU. But like after I have to come to Tainan from Linkou, which is in the north of Taiwan, then I have to live on myself. So I learned to cook. And I found myself quite interested in cooking. And so I searched up more recipes, like from Instagram or from some blog, and look for some special dishes. Like this one is also one dish made by myself. And another thing that, like Thomas and David also mentioned, is doing sports. So one of the great options for you to do in NCKU is go jogging, especially for boys, because your dormitory is just in front of the running track. So it's very convenient for you to go to track to go jogging with your friends or your classmates. Yeah. And okay, now this one I'm going to talk about is Lego. This is a picture taken in the U.S. After our summer course this summer. Yeah. And just a reminder that if you want to take Lego as an interest, you have to watch out that you have to have at least a little more money because it will cost you a little. But it's a great interest that it can train your brain, like your thoughts about dimensions, and also it's a great decoration. Yeah. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is guitar. I strongly recommended you that if you don't know any instrument, guitar is a great thing to start with, because guitar is easy to learn, and all you need is a guitar. Yeah. Like for example, you're doing a GE class, you have to do a performance, then you can just bring a guitar. You can sing or just play guitar and find a singer with you. And also, one advice, for those who want to have some relationship after you enter college, you can try learn guitar, and you can play the song to your partner. Like, trust me, this is my true experience. Oh. Okay, so thank you. This is all about our presentation. And you know, our topic is all you can do in NCKU, but in fact, it's just a little thing that you can do. There's a lot of more things that you have to figure out by yourself. So I hope you all find your interest and move on to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Darren, David, Thomas, and William, for sharing your experiences as well as giving some insight on the extracurriculars of a college student. And with that, that concludes all of our talks for today. So now we will be entertaining a short break time to 6:45, which will be used for the judges to deliberate on the awards to give out. And also in the meantime, here is a QR code. So if you forgot to vote on your favorite posters downstairs, feel free to do so. Scan the QR code and vote for your 3 favorite posters. Dear guests, the awarding ceremony will begin in 1 minute, so please return to your seats. Thank you. All right. So before we hand out the awards, we would like to first invite the 3 esteemed guests who will be giving out the scores for the presentation to give a few remarks. First off, we would like to introduce Professor Zhan Baozhu, Dean of the College of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science. Yeah.
Okay. Should I say good evening, everyone?
Good evening.
Yeah. Well, it's very nice to have the chance to meeting you all, especially seeing so many wonderful and excellent students present their idea. Yeah, it is really amazing to my point of view, because I have seen some of the students, regular Chinese students, they may not, try to express so fluently or so confidently. So I think that it's very wonderful. But of course, we have lots of to learn. I think our students still have lots of to learn. And through the program with EECS and the mechanical engineering and with the Purdue University, I think the program broaden our students' view and will also let them to know much better, especially to know the culture from different countries and see the perspective and to learn the way to work with other people and how to do the teamwork, how to respect people, and how to make through all the living or in the interaction, and to promote their thinking of the more logically, and to also to see how they can work with the people with a very nice way of doing. So I think that is a very wonderful approach for this program. And I would like also thank Purdue to give us this opportunity. Actually, the cooperation between NCKU and Purdue back to very decades ago, and I also know that it is actually a history, and so we are trying to bring back this kind of collaboration, and through this, and we can also, actually, I think this is mutual beneficial. We also look forward more of the visiting scholars from the Purdue University to NCKU, and we would definitely also to recruit more professors and our talented students to travel abroad, and they will be our future, and also those who would take over our task now to make our society even better and better in the future. So I would appreciate all this opportunity, and also encourage our students. This is a very wonderful chance for you to learn. It's a very precious chance. So please take hold of this opportunity and do your best to communicate and to learn. And so please take this as a good advantage and the best use of it. And thank you, and I wish all you have a very healthy and a very wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Zhan Baozhu. Next, we would like to invite Professor Zhan Qiandeng, the Dean of the College of Engineering, to give a few remarks.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, everybody, we just watched the very good performance for all of the students in the walk and the talk. Okay, they do very good. So excellent for that. So I think through this practice and the learning process, they will do very well in their next study, even in our university or in the Purdue University. Very good. Congratulations. Excellent.
And last but not least, let us invite Mr. Chris Herbert, the lecturer, to give a few remarks on the performance of the speakers today.
Hi, everybody. Nice to be here. Okay, I was pleasantly surprised. I thought the speeches were really great today. And if I could offer a little bit of advice, first of all, I think choosing the topic is really important. So, for example, the group that talked about the differences between Taiwan and the USA, that's a topic we're all interested in. So if you start with an interesting topic, that can help you in the very beginning. Okay, although I think all of the topics were pretty applicable. I'd also say, I mean, it's pretty obvious, but preparation's a big thing. I know you guys are a little short on time, so it's not that easy. But, you know, you can always tell the people who practiced a little more, things go a little more smoothly. I mean, some of you, your English is better. That naturally gives you an advantage. But, you know, if your English isn't that strong, maybe you need to practice a little more. I'd also like to say, let's see what else. Adding some humor, right? Some jokes, some funny anecdotes. That's a really good thing to kind of bring the audience in, especially if you know you're going to be part of a long thing and people are going to be comparing the groups. Okay, that's a way to give you a big advantage. I think lastly, what I would like to see, maybe this is a group presentation. So if I were you, you know, have some more interaction between the groups. Now, I'm not sure exactly how you guys set up to work on this, but you know, could kind of tell the last group, you guys have a better chemistry, you work together well. I mean, you could see it from the photos, you're good friends, you're in the same department, that makes it easier. But a little interaction between the different groups and connecting the ideas, I think that's the way maybe take your presentation to the next level. I think a pretty obvious thing is with experience, you get more relaxed. So for example, I have nothing prepared today, but it's easier for me. I've done this 100 times. So, you know, putting ourselves through this process, you know, that Patrick's helping, you know, make you guys more comfortable being on stage, speaking in front of larger groups, that's a really big one. Okay, think something we can't really talk about now for the presentation, but I know for most of you professors would agree, the biggest challenge is also the Q&A session. So always be prepared to answer a lot of questions about your presentation. We don't have as much time today, so we'll just have to move on, just like me. All right, that's all I have to say today, so hope I can meet some of you guys later. I've met some of you already, and yeah, I'll pass the mic.
Okay. Thank you to the three esteemed judges for giving your tips and also your thoughts on the presentations prior. And so next, without further ado, we will now be giving out the awards. So first up, we will have 3 awards for the most popular posters. And for this, we would like to invite Professor Zhan Qianden to help us give out the awards. So the first award goes to the 6th poster by David. Is David here? And the second is the 19th poster by Thomas. And next, the poster number 5 by Darren. And next, we would like to invite Professor Zhang Baozhu to help us give out the award for the best presentation today. And the best presentation award goes to Group 3, the difference between Taiwan and USA. So let us welcome Joshua, Eric, Tom, and Patrick to the stage. All right, so congratulations to all of the groups and people that received awards. And now, without further ado, it's now time for a big group photo. All right.好，那第一张照片大家来比个赞。好，谢谢大家，谢谢大家。All right, so now it's time for our dinner break, and please do not leave the venue yet because we will have our welcome reception, the second part of tonight's event, later on at 7:45.
OK， 各位老师、各位同学、各位家长，大家好。我们会在1楼准备餐点，但是因为我们空间有限，所以大家可以拿了餐点以后，在1楼或者是2楼用餐。对，谢谢。